Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
we might not be in a title race, but we might be the team with the most yellow cards in the Premier League this season. We're top with 50. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. That was weird. I'm going to start that all again, and you're going to get it twice, listener. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a virtual room filled with some Lions. I've got Berth. I've got Chris. It's the original trio today. And what were your moments from the weekend? It wasn't quiet. Oh, dear.
It wasn't quiet for me, to be fair. I had a family meal with all my brothers and sisters, which is good.
Nice.
What did I do Friday? I did something Friday as well. Forgot what I did Friday, I'll be honest with you. But then, and then Sunday, I had football as well, and we're now top of the league in our division. So
not in a title race, though. You're not in a title race.
No, I don't think we are in a title race, to be fair, because we've got a lot of. Second's got a lot of games in hand, but still top of the table. So
okay. Chris, what about yourself?
Had a bit of a stinker of a weekend, to be fair.
Brilliant.
Yeah. My highlight actually probably was the Chelsea game, because before that, I'd lost in the morning. Then Chelsea women drew. Then I got battered on Sunday morning. So I thought, Jesus, by 7 o'clock on Sunday night, I thought, Jesus, I really need these lot to do me a favour. I thought my weekend's been a complete write-off. But luckily, they did.
That's true.
I'm being super positive today, so me and Berth are going to get on today.
Let's not go too far, Chris. Come on, I know it's Christmas, but
you know what? At first I was trying to decide my moment was going to be the battle for the save of the season between Martinez and Sanchez, and then that just went completely out the window, because then I saw something over in Turkey, and something worthy of my moment of the weekend. And if you haven't seen it, you're going to miss out on it, because in the game between Antalyaspor and Kayserispor, Dutch midfielder, great name by the way, Sander van der Streek, hit a shot so hard it broke a security guard stall. The game's so bad. Wow. You could just watch it and he just goes like a comedy. It's like, whoop, and he falls down. It was so good. Honestly.
Also, by the way, just going back to the Martinez Sanchez saves, that Martinez save is probably the best save I've ever seen in my life.
No,
I agree.
Ever.
It's better than Sanchez's. Definitely better than Sanchez's. I think it is.
Oh, better than Pear in the FA Cup final.
Ooh,
it's tough. I think it's the best Premier League save ever.
That I will consider allowing that.
I'll go for that. Okay, it's the best Premier League save ever. I think it's right up there anyway. Definitely.
That Petr save though in the FA. Oh, that's just too bloody good. It's just too good.
Yeah, because that the moment of the game as well.
Exactly.
And the final.
There was that save, but there's also a save the year after when Hernandez should have scored, and Petr made one of the best saves I've ever seen that game as well. So
at the end of the day, did it matter in the Villa game? No, they still lost. Didn't matter. It didn't matter.
And funnily enough, he actually made a mistake for their first goal.
He did.
You know what? I'll be cheeky. I would like to point out Rasmus Højlund's Instagram post in the Manchester derby that was Manchester is red, violets are blue. What a brilliant performance. But the Oscar goes to. It's just a picture of Kyle Walker, which apparently Højlund dived, according to Dermot Gallagher, because he'll never admit a referee got a decision wrong, will he? So.
Yeah, he just didn't dive though, did he?
No.
This is what I say each week. Like, why will the refs agree with each other? It's like
they always agree. They always agree.
I mean, I'm not going to go on about it because I go on about it every week, but yeah.
Oh, but before we dive into the news, I've got to share a shout out. I've got two, actually. I've got the one first up from Spotify, from Azza. Great episode, probably the best ever. The coverage you guys did there was absolutely fantastic. Enjoyed it thoroughly, and also the surprise that so many Chelsea are in Kazakhstan. Yep, because that was from our most recent episode. So that was not. It was a good. I'm glad you enjoyed that, because that was our first ever straight same day reaction, really. So we didn't have time to calm down. It's like, imagine if we'd have lost that. Oh my God.
Yeah, imagine.
And of course, I've got a very special Sheva shout out, and it's going to Matthew on our Discord, because he dropped me a message after he was cleaning out his office, and he found a banner from the inaugural game of the Seattle Sounders, and he wanted to ship it my way. And I have offered to pay postage, and he's determined I don't have to. Well, honestly, it meant the world to me. Not just for such a kind gesture, but the fact that someone just thought of me. It meant a lot. So you're listening. Thank you so much. And I really will look forward to when that arrives. It was, I love this show. I love this show.
Me too.
Awesome.
Me
it was
too.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's class. That is actually really nice.
It was awesome. So
class,
lovely. So lovely.
Yeah.
So, news. I've scraped the barrel here, but I've got something. Chelsea are finally closing in on a shirt sponsor with 4 or 5 names in contention to appear on the front of the kit. That's this year. Around 3 airlines and 2 tech companies are battling it out. All I think is, when I see the word tech and then company, I'm just sat here hoping it's Samsung. Baby, please come home. I'm still dreaming of Samsung back again. Maybe even Nintendo. Maybe they're coming. Maybe the mock-ups.
I don't know. Fly Emirates is pretty good though.
It was good.
Really?
It was
Yeah,
good.
Fly Emirates was good. Yeah.
I mean, they don't sell them, but Commodore. Let's. I'll take a tech company over a dodgy betting sponsor. I don't want steak. I don't want steak.
Anything but betting, really.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I've moaned enough when I see loads of social accounts just tweet every photo and video of bloody steak everywhere. I'm like, I don't want this crap. Get it off. Oh, yeah. What do we think? Sponsors. I mean, I'm shocked we've even got to this stage without one. I mean, halfway through the season, pretty much.
I mean, like, I'm at the point now where I don't really mind if we don't have a sponsor.
Yeah, I agree.
Very rare.
It's December now, and we've gone 14 games without a sponsor.
Yeah.
No difference to me now. Like, I'm sort of used to seeing the shirt without one. I think every shirt looks better with one. Don't get me wrong, but I'm at the point now where I just
early
don't
Barcelona.
Really... I think a sponsor makes or breaks a kit, because if you think of all our classic kits and every classic kit there's ever been, you always remember the sponsor, don't you? You just always do.
Yeah,
and it makes that kit. But yeah, I mean, I ain't that bothered now, really. I'm sort of past caring with it, but you know,
I feel like that's a future episode when you think of weird sponsors, like when Clyde Bank had Wet Wet Wet. Yes, the band as a sponsor. The only sponsor that sticks out in my head that I feel is perfect was Pizza Hut and Fulham. I just love that kit. It's just so cool. Go on, Chris.
Sorry to interrupt, Chris. Didn't Ipswich have Ed Sheeran's or?
Oh yeah. Why not?
Yeah. I was literally just about to say that. Like, I think a sponsor can make a kit look better, but they can ruin it as well. And I think I really like Ipswich's shirt this year, but I hate the sponsor. Yeah. I think the sponsor looks terrible. The Ed Sheeran album logos just makes it look shit. It would look so much better without it. So it's weird, and it sponsors, because you're like, I do agree with Berth. Like, you do. Iconic sponsors do make a shirt look better, but you can have some where you think that would be such a nice shirt if it didn't have that terrible logo on it.
I keep thinking of, because Everton had Kazoo, or maybe still have Kazoo as a sponsor. I don't know if it's changed to Steak. I don't know. But whenever I hear Kazoo, I kept thinking of the milkshake Yazoo. So I was like, oh, Yazoo sponsor. No, they don't. Oh, Mike, shut the fuck up. Right, we're gonna head to a little bit of Kingsmeadow corner action for you here, because Chelsea took on Leicester in the WSL. In the last 5 games between these two sides, Chelsea have an aggregate score of 32-2. But what happens when a fox meets a lion in the year 2024? Would assume the lion leaves victorious, and yet this time, the lion and the fox shared the food. Yeah, as I just choke on my coffee, Leicester won, Chelsea won. Didn't see that coming. The perfect streak comes to a halt in Leicestershire. What happened, Chris?
Sorry, was that right? Like, what just happened there?
No, he's actually choking to death.
I thought that was still a part of the audio.
No, he's
oh wow.
Do you know what? He's carried on there though, like a true professional.
I tried my best.
I'll tell you what, people love us, don't they? Like,
Yeah,
we're so
they've got
professional. We're so professional.
What happened, Chris?
We was awful. We were so bad. We didn't have any spark. We had no creativity. We had no energy. We had no ideas. It was really bizarre to watch. The team looked really lethargic and off it. And I think sometimes you have those days where just all the players are off it on the same day, and you can't really explain why. But in the end, I think we did really well to come out of it with a draw, because I don't think we deserved a draw. We was that bad.
I did have faith, but yeah, it wasn't. We dominated. It was one of them where we dominated. We didn't do anything with the domination.
Yeah,
It was like
that's it.
we had 28 shots, 6 were on target. We scored once. Leicester had 1 shot on target the whole game, scored it. Fair play. I mean, that's what I've got. This is my new thing now. Mike's quickfire winners and losers from the game. I had the captain as a winner. I mean, she scored a great equaliser.
Yeah,
Literally the
great goal.
reason we have a point. That's it. And my only other winner from it was the winter break. No more WSL action for us till the 19th of January. And honestly, I kind of think that after that, it might be a good thing, because we'll hopefully have Sam Kerr and others back fit. Sonia's got time to rethink that back line, because it didn't look great. And we even have a let's bloody get back on it game, don't we, against Madrid in the midweek. So that kind of closed out the year. But you're right, the losers, I've got too many. I have got Lucy Bronze, not her fault intentionally, but she challenged Deanne Rose. She came off early because of that challenge. Goodwin came on, then scored. That's just unlucky.
And
she was also,
to be fair, Bronze's crossing was horrendous all game.
Just an off game. It was
it was really bad.
And Hannah Kane's build up into the Leicester goal that caught out Bronze as well. A very rare poor game from her, really. Our shooting, that was stormtrooper levels of accuracy, if I must admit, at Saturday lunchtime. Too many shots didn't hit the target. 18 corners, Chris. How does that happen? Not a single. I just don't know.
We kept it in the first player.
Yeah, very Willian level, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was like watching 2015 Chelsea.
Yeah, when every time we'd get a corner, Willian hits the first man. Oh, it's never going to beat the first man. Yeah, you'd rather have a throw.
Yeah.
Throwback days. I mean, Berth, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the perfect way to sum it was that it was just an off day. The goal was fantastic, but yeah, I think everyone was just a step off it. And look, he didn't lose, so at least we got the undefeated streak still intact. We got a regroup, bit of a break now. I agree with Chris. I don't think Bronze was really good in the final third. I thought she was poor. It's just we need to kind of forget about this now. And just sort of go again when we come back from the break. But look, the team's still the best team in the league. I mean, it's just a slight blip. I don't see us losing. I don't see us like going on a bad streak now. I think it should have one of them games where, look, we've had an off day. It happens. The best of teams recharge, reset, and go again.
I think we've been. I mean, we got lucky. We got a Christmas wish, because I must admit, drawing to Leicester, you feel like the next team up, there's going to be there's always somebody ready to, and it's usually City. And then I was shocked by the Everton score. I mean, I know they didn't have Hemp, they didn't have Shaw, but it's City. They usually find a way. And like the men's team this season, they don't seem to be able to find a way. So we got very fortunate that Everton did us a favour, because we left the weekend, well, we left our game thinking 2 points dropped. It was 1 point gained.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah,
I think when you want to win a title and when you want to be near the top of the league, I think every point matters. And I think getting a draw really, we've seen it slightly in the men's team as well, that getting a draw isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think you got to look at it as always a point gained. With every single draw, if it's against sort of like a go away from home, you got to look at the positives, and you can't see it as 2 points drop, because look, Man City could drop points like they did, and so on and so on. So when you're winning a title, you look back at this game and potentially go, oh, we should have lost that, but we got a draw.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely this WSL season. I feel has just been impacted by injury. I mean, every team suffered injuries. We've suffered injuries. City devastated by injuries. You got Palace, who had another one of our lone players, obviously Brooke Aspin. She's obviously out for the whole season because of the ACL injury. Leicester themselves were pretty much hit by injuries. So, man, it's a shame because you want to see all the best players playing. I think we'll be much better when we get obviously Sam Kerr back in the new year. It's just obviously what level is she going to be coming back at? That's always going to be. She hasn't played. How long has she been out for now? Is it
Feels like
8 months?
Been a while.
forever.
Been a while, yeah.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been quite a while. Well, that was pretty much Kingsmeadow. That's pretty much the WSL Kingsmeadow corner for the year because, like I said, 19th of January. So we got a month off. There is the FA Cup. I think we're against Charlton, I think, in that. So that's not till next year, though. So, yeah, we're taking on Real Madrid on Wednesday. So we'll see how Thursday, one of the two. We'll see how that plays. So it's time to head to the winners and losers because we welcome Brentford to Stamford Bridge.
The Bees entered this game knowing that they have never known defeat in the Premier League in the Lions' Den. And yet they buzzed back to their hive beaten, stung, and with nothing to show for it.
Chelsea 2, Brentford 1. Wow. Who thought that was going to happen? We kick off with the winners as always. A very rare time we actually beat them. Who cares though? How many have you got and who have you got?
I've got 3 and 3. Always 3 and 3. Most of the time.
3. I've got 3 and I actually do have 3 and 3. I do. Chris?
I've got 3 and 3.
Wow.
Well done.
Look
well
how
done,
professional.
Chris.
We're doing really
done.
well today. Professional. I pushed on through choking. You guys are pushing on, getting 3 and 3. I'm proud. I'm so proud. So, you know what? I'll go for my first winner because I haven't got much to say. It's Moises Caicedo.
He's on mine, to be fair.
I mean, powerful, relentless, confident, world class, the best midfielder in the Premier League. What more can I say? Well. 85% pass accuracy, 2 chances created, 3 or 4 accurate long balls, 13 recoveries, 100% tackle success rate, and 75% aerial duels won. He was yet again showing why he's better than Declan Rice and probably better than Rodri. I'm forget the price tag. He's worth that money. We got a bargain. But why was he a winner for you?
Because he's looking more and more like N'Golo Kante each game week, and if he carries on, and I really do don't hold me to this because it could come back and bite me. I think he actually could eventually become better than N'Golo Kante. If he keeps going like this, his passing is ridiculously underrated. I think he's superb. Our second goal comes from him winning the ball back, and it's a superb challenge.
Yeah.
I've seen that so much from him. He is brutal in that midfield, and I mean that in a good way. He's a destroyer. He covers loads of ground. He's quick. He's a perfect midfielder. And you've even seen he's got a goal in him. He scored a goal from the halfway line and a volley from the edge of the box. So he's so good. And that £105 million price tag, 112, whatever it was, is almost looking a bargain now. Because I just think he's that good. I think he's the most complete midfielder in the Premier League at the minute.
Yeah, I was going to say complete midfielder, 100%. I mean, you are right. People talk about his engine, they talk about his tackling, but his long passing is so good.
I'll tell you the pass.
So good.
I'll tell you the pass that really impressed me. I can't remember what game it was now, but I think it was a couple of games ago. He played one first time and he was outside the football.
Yeah, to João Felix.
Just over the top of... Yeah, that's one. Yeah. Over the top of the defence. And I thought, wow, this is some player. Not every midfielder can do that in the Premier League. I bet you Declan Rice couldn't do that. Guarantee it.
It's that thing, isn't it, where I think with players like Caicedo, because he's so good in what he's doing off the ball, people just assume that you can't be that good off the ball and be good on it. Like you have to be one or the other.
Yeah.
And like
Kante was the same though. Kante, people said that about Kante.
People always said about Kante that his passing was poor, but if you actually watched him, you thought, well, it's not though. Just because he's good off the ball doesn't mean he's shit on it. It's like, and I think Caicedo is the same. I just don't. I think those sort of narratives come from people who don't watch him every week because I think he's brilliant, both on and off the ball.
I think we're always going to get, he cost this money. That's always going to
Yeah,
be
but
a narrative.
it cost a little bit more than Declan Rice did, and he's more for us than Rice is doing for Arsenal.
Well,
yeah.
That
there is actually no comparison. I think, like, you look at it, and I think both seasons overall, Caicedo's been the better player.
Yeah. Chris, who was your first winner?
Nicholas Jackson.
Well deserved.
Nice. I was going to put him. But
you know what? I thought he had a really good game before his goal, and even if he hadn't have scored, he would have still been on the winners list for me. I thought he was really good. He played with great energy. You can see he was almost playing with a point to prove after the Tottenham game when he came off so disappointed with himself, I think, in that game, that he played this one like it really meant something. And also, like, I spent the hour and a half before our game watching the Manchester derby, and I'm telling you now, there is no comparison between Jackson and Haaland when it comes to everything else but finishing. I watched Haaland, and if he doesn't get a chance to score, he literally does nothing in a game. He didn't
do anything yesterday.
He did absolutely nothing. He didn't worry the defenders. He didn't bully anyone. He didn't link up with his teammates. He literally did nothing. I think Jackson will have more of an impact in games he doesn't score in than Haaland does. And for me, that makes him a better all-round striker. The only thing that lets Jackson down, and it did in this game, was he actually scored the hardest chance he had all day, and he missed the easy ones. So,
but you know what though, and I'll say this about Jackson and comparing him to other Chelsea strikers that we've had. When he does miss the easy chance, he won't let his head drop, and he won't mope about the pitch. It will keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, and he will get a goal. You look at someone like a Morata, like a Higuain, like a Werner to some extent, but those sorts of players, even Lukaku, to be fair, their heads dropped, their attitude dropped. Jackson will always keep going, and the goal yesterday reminded me a bit like Didier Drogba, the way he ran. He used his pace, used his strength, and banged it into the bottom corner. Really, really good. And yeah, Chris, I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I might have suggested he might have been subbed off, but you got to take everything I say as complete and utter bollocks. You can't just take everything I say. Yeah. You know what? From one MC to another, I've got Mark Cucurella. I'm curious if you've got him on the winners.
I've not got him on the winners list. That's a bit of a spoiler for you.
He was on mine, and then he got removed after the final whistle.
Okay, look. For me, what a goal! That diving header, poetry. Love it, loved it.
Yeah, great goal.
And he was a menace all game down that left flank, underlapping, overlapping, inverting, just creating stuff. Oh, and that finish was just so good. And we've got the best midfielder in the league with Caicedo. We know this. That's official. But we've also got the best left back in the league with Cucurella. Yeah. It's a great duo. I'll talk about the dismissal later for a good reason, but that I have to give Cucurella his flowers because he was bloody good. So
the thing is with Cucurella, and I've said this for a few weeks when I've had him on the winners list, is he always sets a really energetic tone. And there was one yesterday that I think summed him up, where he tried to put a cross in from the left-hand side that they headed out, and he ran across the pitch and won the ball back on the right-hand side. And it was like he was determined to not let them cross the halfway line. And that energy that he plays with, it's relentless. And I think it's infectious as well to his teammates. Honestly, if it wasn't for what he did after the final whistle, he'd have been a winner for me 100%, because I thought he was absolutely incredible in the game.
Yeah, he was.
Who's your second winner then?
So my second winner, and he's been on a couple of times recently. Chris might kill me for this, but it's Enzo Fernandez again.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Chris. I thought he was going to be one of your winners.
No. Chris has been on the losers list the past couple
That
of times.
That is true.
Now, I think Enzo, because I think he looks so much better now, and he looks like he's playing and enjoying his football. He looks like he's not. His pace is up with the speed of the Premier League now. And I don't know what reason that is, but it just seems like he's used to the speed of it now. His passing's a lot better. I think his work rate is a lot better. The pass to Jackson was actually a very good pass. Like it's a very clever pass. He just put it into the channel. He knew Jackson was there. He knew Jackson would get it. Brilliant pass. And I think he's showing signs now that he's a player that you can't really drop because he's important to us. And I just think, yeah, like I said, it just seems like he's playing now. It's almost like a weight lifted off his shoulders now. Like I said on the previous episodes, I don't know what's happened in his personal life that could have affected his play, but yeah, it just seems like he's playing now and he's enjoying it. And I think I mean, me and Chris have both played football before. I'm sure we've had problems in our personal life. I mean, how hard it is to go through that and play football and try and not go through it. And once that's released, you play a lot better. You do just play a lot better and you enjoy it and your confidence is up and you just you pick these passes out, you pick these goals out, and that's what I'm seeing from Enzo Fernandez at the minute. So for me, like, he's got to be a winner.
Very fair. Chris, who's your second?
Noni Madueke.
Nice.
I thought first sort of 15 minutes of the game, I thought we started quite slowly. We actually started the first 2 minutes really fast pace, but then it kind of died off. But I thought Madueke throughout that period again was trying to set a really good tone. When he got on the ball, he was trying to drive past people, trying to make things happen, and he didn't get any sort of goal involvement. But I thought actually he was our best attacker on the day because he was constantly causing them problems in terms of going down the outside, coming on the inside. His positioning was really good, holding the width, but then driving past and then allowing Gusto to have space where he could roll the ball back and Gusto could put the cross in. I just thought it was a really good game for an attacker to stand out in a match where they don't get a goal involvement. I think shows that they're having a really good impact on the game.
Yeah, I mean, he always seems to come back with a bang when he's told off by Maresca, which fair play to him. Fair play, because it could go one or two ways, but it works.
It's a good attitude to have.
Yeah. Right, my final winner, it's the Brentford curse, because Chelsea I'm sure you know, listener, had never beaten Brentford at home in the Premier League until Sunday. Another curse broken, another hurdle Maresca has cleared with the style. This could have easily been one of those classic banana skin games. We all know, look, another Brentford win at the Bridge. It's poetry, we know it, but not this time. Not with our little horse. This horse, it's been drinking its milk, hitting the gym, it's ready to kick some ass, take some names. We're not looking above us. We're not saying that. We're just our little horse. We're just doing our bit. And that's what matters. Another 3 points. We're just here, just a chill guy picking up 3 points. That's what we are. That's what we are. Right, Berth, who's your final winner?
Maresca. Again, he's the one that's appeared on it a few times this season. I think the tactics that he used, especially in the first half, were really good. Because he just seemingly went against what he normally plays. Went, you know what? We're just going to fire balls into the box. I think we made like a ridiculous, 27 crosses or something like that. And we scored from a cross. And he clearly did his homework because Brentford lost a couple of weeks ago to Fulham, and Fulham scored from 2 crosses. So it's kind of a weakness of theirs. And I thought it's just really clever sort of tactic that sort of I didn't think about before the game. But when I watched it, I was like, he's actually thought about this loads, and it shows that sort of elite coaching level that he's at. And I've been really impressed with him this season. I can't say he's been faultless because he hasn't, but it is a real stark contrast to what we've had the past couple of seasons. I'm not going to count Tuchel in that, but I think Potter definitely, Lampard definitely, and yeah, it's just he's really impressing me at the minute with his comments after the game and his interviews, really coming across well. And I've said before how well he's managing the squad. He's really likable at the minute, and we're not in a title race. That's what I'm saying about that.
Right, Chris, close out the winners.
I actually struggled with this because I think it was a game where we could have put so many people on the winners list, so many players, and Maresca. But I think we try and be fair on here. Like I have with Enzo Fernandez, you know, you will, Mikey, with Nkunku, who you had a problem with at one point, you know.
Well,
yeah, strangely.
Ollie with
I know you're going to put here,
Felix.
Chris, by the way. I know exactly what you're going to say here, Chris. And you know what? I really like it. I am so for
Robert
it.
Sanchez.
Yep.
he was good. He was good, wasn't
Great
he?
save. It was a great
Yeah,
couple of saves.
I thought he made some really good saves, but I actually thought it was the most confident he's looked. Claiming crosses, holding on to things, never looked dodgy. Distribution was fine, looked quite comfortable with the ball at his feet. None of those horror passes that we normally see from him. And then just topped off, I think, a really good performance with that brilliant save at 1-0 to keep us in the lead, which turned out to be crucial in the end. I don't think he could do much about the Brentford goal either. I think he did about as much as he could have done. And as much as it's fair to hammer him when he's shit, I think it's only fair to be praising him when he's good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, I mean, he was good. He made a good bloody save, and fair play to him. Fair play to you, sir. Right, losers. I've got my first loser is it's Peter Banks. Hey, do you know who he is, by the way?
He's the ref, weren't he?
Yeah, he had to make it all about himself, didn't he? Second yellow for Cucurella.
Imagine my shot.
We're equaling a red card. Utter woke nonsense. Ollie, I'm saying it for you. It's utter woke nonsense. I mean, I've looked at this footage back. I've watched Sancho and Palmer just sat on the floor chatting, which was great. But look, there's barely an altercation. I mean, it's just petulant behaviour from no one's really pushing each other, punching. There's nothing of that. A better referee would have just had a word. Not our Peter, though. Give your head a wobble, mate. Embarrassing. I mean, it's not. I know you could go, we shouldn't get involved. I don't care. That is not a yellow card offence. It's not a yellow card. It's not, certainly not worthy of a second yellow. It's not. And obviously, Cucurella gets a nice trip to, well, he's out in the Conference League this week and he'll miss Everton on the weekend. I just found it over the top stupid. I don't know. Dermot Gallagher would agree that it was a perfect second yellow card, but I don't give a shit what he thinks. Chris, any thoughts on that?
Well, my first loser is Cucurella because
he was my first loser as well.
You're both dickheads.
I do agree that it was.
Well, that's a bit
agree
harsh.
that it was soft, but I think he's stupid for getting involved, especially when you've won the game. When you've won the game, just walk away. Like, you've done your bit. You've done your talking. I don't care if Brentford are kicking off. I don't care if someone says something to you. I thought he was also ridiculously stupid for the challenge he made that got him a yellow card in the game. Because although I think it is a yellow card, to leave the ground like that in today's football with how much VAR love getting involved with anything that looks mildly dangerous, that was silly. But then to do that so late in the game, know that you're on a yellow card, and then push someone after the final whistle is just stupid. And now he's going to miss a game, which is another really important game. And he's going to miss it through his own stupidity.
I just don't see it as a yellow. I can't. It's just so frustrating when the ref did that. It really was. It was. I get what people are saying, and I do, but not for me. Berth, who was your first loser? Was it Cucurella, by the way?
It was Cucurella, and I'll add on to what Chris is saying. I totally agree. I think the best two words to describe his sending off was stupid and silly, because that's what it was. It was needless, really. Petulant, didn't need to get involved. Tackle was silly. And like you said, Mikey, when he was on your winners list, unbelievable performance from him. Great header. Didn't need to get involved. He's currently playing as if he's the best left back in the league, which I think he probably is on current form. Why get involved? He knows, he's experienced enough. He's important enough to know that he doesn't need to do that. And he'll be kicking himself. He really will be kicking himself now. But what we'll say about Cucurella, you don't normally see that from him. He doesn't normally get a silly yellow like that. So I'll let him off a bit. But he knows he has to know better. He has to know better. As one of the most experienced players in the squad, he just has to know better.
All right. You know what? I'll go my second loser. Clean sheets.
Yeah, it's mine as well.
Funny enough, they're my second loser as well. Yeah.
Look, we can all agree we need to clean up our act, literally and figuratively, because we have a dodgy hotel reputation. It's getting a little out of hand for me because we can't keep a clean sheet. We cannot keep a sheet clean. We are running a very poor B&B for the opposition strikers. We offer complimentary goals every stay. Come on, we'll give you a goal. This isn't just about the pride anymore of a clean sheet. You know, we must have the worst hygiene rating in town. No one wants to stay at this hotel with the filthy bed sheets. Sanchez, and you put him as a winner. He worked bloody hard to keep the bed clean yesterday. He really did. He thought he was going to get a nice little bit of a bonus for Christmas. He was dreaming of it. What was he going to spend it on? Don't know. But he was dreaming of it. And then, no, we let the standard slip. Suddenly, there it is. Boom. Shut the doors. No, I mean, I can't believe it. We conceded. I mean, Brian and Burma usually scores against us, but I don't care. We're so close to a clean sheet.
I think it
will cost us eventually.
I think it was the manner of how they scored that goal that really pissed me off more than anything. I can appreciate if they scored like a set piece or a wonder goal or something like that.
Like Vista last season.
Yeah, it was way too easy in like the 89th minute to be open like that when you're 2-0 up. You're just asking for trouble. And Cole said it against Spurs, like how you can't be in a title race and go 2-0 down. You can't be in a title race and concede those sorts of goals because they will hurt us eventually. And that's what really annoyed me. So I thought Sanchez had a very good game. I thought the back four had a really good game. But those sorts of things cannot happen if you're going to challenge for the title.
You know what it is as well? Concentration. I think we have a real concentration problem because that goal, there's too many of the defenders have fell asleep and left two big gaps. But also, if you look at the game, again, it was another game. I thought we dominated the whole game, was comfortable. I didn't really ever feel threatened. But Brentford scored one. And if it wasn't for a wonder save from Robert Sanchez before that, would have scored another completely unmarked off the second phase of a set piece because people watch the ball, not the player. It's honestly, our defending of set pieces as well could come into this because we defend set pieces like a Sunday League team. We just don't mark anybody. Or we mark them on the first phase and then as soon as the second phase, we all just walk off and all just start watching the ball. Like, I do think eventually we will have a game where this tendency to concede goals so easily out of nothing will cost us points.
Oh, 100%.
And I'll tell you another problem. Chris mentioned those two chances. Yeah. They also hit the bar. And what I will say is I love Leewald Colwell. I love Leewald Colwell. I think he's a great player, great defender. And I like Fafana, I like Tosin, I like Badiashile. Good players, good defenders. What separates them from John Terry and Thiago Silva, separates John Terry and Thiago Silva from those three that I mentioned, they defended the near post unbelievably well. I find it really annoying that we saw it against Spurs as well, that Solanke ran across near Colwell post and get in ahead of Colwell. Near post every time. Carvalho almost did it at the weekend, but at the bar. That has to stop. John Terry and Thiago Silva would never, ever, ever let that happen. And to be fair, David Luiz is actually very good at it as well. That needs to... Colwell, I think, is probably most likely to sort of be at that near post and be that sort of enforcer at the near post. So he needs to realise that this is a bit of a problem now. This is what I need to work on. If he can do that, he becomes elite defender straight away. Straight away. That's something that he needs to improve on, I think, personally.
Yeah. I guess I get to say it because we haven't done it in a while, but...
Congratulations for being shit. Well done for being shit, and well done for being shit.
Yeah, that was our... And you know what? You know, when we think about what... You said concentration, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Is it the age? Because I'm not taking the piss here. But attention spans, you know, we all say
100%.
TikTok, it's getting rid of the attention span, it's getting worse. Is that something to do with it? Not TikTok. I'm just saying, like, in general.
Inexperienced players, isn't it? Like, they don't know. They do tend to switch off.
The point that I just tried to make about the near post thing, Thiago Silva, when he came to Chelsea, was what, 38? 39?
Yeah, 38, I think.
John Terry, at his peak, at his prime, 30-31.
Yeah.
Brilliant in the near post. Colwell's what, 23?
Yeah, he's nowhere near it.
Yeah. I mean, these sort of things don't happen overnight. He's still learning. He's still growing as a player and as a person. It's absolutely down to being young and inexperienced. Same with Fofana, same with Tosin, same with Badiashile. All these players, it's down to just lack of inexperience, and that's what concentration does, inexperience does. It's one of them.
Yeah. You know what? I'll follow up with my my final loser. I've got Pep Guardiola. That's all. Moving on. Berth, who's your final loser?
I was actually going to have Pep Guardiola, but I've actually gone for Arsenal and Man City.
Oh.
And Liverpool. You know what? I'll throw Liverpool in there as well. For a minute. At the minute, other than Liverpool, we look the second best team in the country. And I think if you're Man City and Arsenal, you're looking at it and going, what are we doing here? What are we doing? They must be looking at themselves going, Arteta are basically a beat at Burnley at the minute. And Man City I don't know what has happened to them, but they will be nowhere near it from the end of the season, the way it's going. They need something to change seriously straight away.
If you look at their form, if you look at the form table right now, we are top with 15 from obviously the 5 games. Arsenal and Liverpool are joint second with 11. Manchester City, can you tell me where they might be?
I reckon they'll be about 15th.
They're 15th, okay. They're actually 17th, 1 point.
Wow.
They've got the same points as Leicester City in the last 5 games. That's madness. Same as Ipswich as well. That's madness. What? I'm sorry. I know this isn't a City pod. Never will be. But I don't think that's all on Rodri. I'm sorry. I call bullshit on that.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No way.
You know what? I had this conversation earlier. It almost seems as if something's happened behind the scenes. Maybe they know something about the points deduction or the charges or whatever. Maybe something's just happened, or maybe Guardiola's fell out with someone. I don't know what it is. But this just goes beyond the Rodri miss, because they've been about Rodri before and they've done all right. It's really strange what's going on, because yesterday there was 1-0 up for a while, but I don't think that was ever better than Man U yesterday.
No, that was awful.
To lose it in the last 2 minutes of a game.
But you saw it coming. You saw it coming a mile away, and I don't know what happened. It weren't as if it's something that they just seem really off it. They seem slow. They seem beyond the pace. Guardiola seems like he doesn't want to be there. Really strange. It's strange.
I said that before. That Manchester derby was 2 bold men fighting over a comb. It was exactly what you expected. It was poor. There was some weird goals, and Mason Mount got injured within 14 minutes. It was just an absolute disaster. It was just, Chris, who's your final loser today?
I've got Liverpool. Just because I think they seemed like they was going to be so comfortable, but now they've started to wobble, and we haven't. And normally, I think what you look for, you expect to have a wobble at some point, but you want your nearest challengers to do it as well. But I think we've won 5 or 6 in a row now.
5 in a row in the Prem, I think.
Yeah, 5 in a row in the Prem. And just when Liverpool look a bit vulnerable, we look like we're getting stronger. So they are going to be looking over their shoulder now. I still think they're fucking annoying because they keep getting draws out of games that they shouldn't. But I actually don't think Liverpool have been that impressive this season. I don't think I've watched Liverpool once this season and thought, fucking hell, they was good. I think we are the best team in the league. We're just not top yet.
Wow.
I think I'm not saying we're the best.
Overreaction, do you think?
I mean,
I think we play the best football. We're definitely playing the best football at the minute. I think if you take Salah out of that Liverpool team,
75% of their goals he's been involved.
I think that they're a totally different team. I genuinely think they're a totally different team. I think we are playing the best football at the minute. But they have got Van Dijk, they've got Alisson, they've got
experience.
They've got experience, and we haven't. But make no mistake about it, we're up there.
It blows my mind.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
No, we don't do it. We're just collecting 3 points.
No, I think we might be. I think we might be.
Liverpool are off to 3-point lane this weekend. So yeah, which again, this is a factor that this still is insane. We're second, right? Spurs are 10th, and we all have an idea of what Spurs have played like this season. The Spurs are 1 goal behind us. They're the second highest scorers in the league. How has that happened? Well, it's probably Southampton. Southampton, let's be honest.
Yeah, Southampton have boosted that for both of us.
They've really, that is true. That is very true. Right, emoji game review. We forgot against FC Astana because we were very cold. That's why we forgot. Sure. So I've got the bee emoji because we stung the bees. We got rid of the curse. It's done. They've gone to their hive. We're happy. So what have you got?
I've gone for... I'll go on, Berth. You go.
Yeah, I was going to go for a clapping emoji because I think, you know what, it's a game that we've sort of been a bit of a banana skin recently for us. So I thought, you know what, we broke it, so applaud that.
Cool.
Nice. I'm going to go with the number 2 because I think we've cemented ourselves now in second place and nearest challengers to Liverpool.
I love it. So, Lion of the Week. What were our picks from the weekend? Berth went with Palmer. Not bad. Chris went with Colwill. Great clearance. I went with Enzo. Right. Ollie went with Jackson, and the wheel went with Disasi.
Jackson.
Yeah, I think Ollie's not on the show, but he's done that this week.
Yeah, Ollie's won that.
Who's the actual Lion? Who would we actually give it to? Would it be Cucurella?
Caicedo.
It's probably Caicedo. I think Caicedo because he got man of the match on the Chelsea poll.
Right, time for Lion of the Midweek because Chelsea are welcoming Shamrock Rovers to the Bridge in the Conference League. I've got a mini preview for you as a new thing. I worked hard on this. I did. Here's the rundown.
Well, it's not a real game.
It's no, you can't use that. That's not fair. No, I have a sound drop for that. Where is it? Where's the not a real game sound drop? There it is.
It's not a real game.
That's right. So Shamrock Rovers, they're in a similar boat to FC Astana when it comes to their season timeline. Their league campaign wrapped up early, November 1st. So they've had the luxury of shifting all their focus to their European adventure. They finished second in the Irish Premier Division, just behind Damien Duff's Shelbourne. But they've been doing all right in Europe. Currently, they sit 6th in the overall group standings. They're unbeaten, an impressive record, 3 wins, 2 draws. To the key details of the time of kickoff, it's 8 p.m. GMT, so it's a nice.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
That's 8 p.m. local time as well. The player to watch for me, it's striker Johnny Kenny. He's on loan from Celtic. He's been absolutely lethal in the Conference League. He scored 5 in 5, only failing to find the net once. Safe to say, let's not treat him with disrespect.
Well, he'll score past us in a 6-1 loss.
Yeah, maybe. So, Lions, who's going to rise to the challenge? Who's stepping up to keep Kenny in check and show Shamrock Rovers that we mean business? Who do you think?
Oh, he's going to have Dewsbury Hall this week. You know what?
Me.
It'll be me. Go on, I'll put him in there.
You fool.
I'll put him in there.
I'm going with the man who's getting the midweek game and not working on the weekend. He's not this week. I'm going Cucurella. He's going to keep Kenny quiet.
Yeah, fair. I mean, if we play Shamrock Rovers though, and our best player is a left back, that will be a worry. Mark Gu for me.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Yeah. All right, let's have a look at the wheel. Who's the wheel going with? Who is the wheel going with today? Oh, I mean, I've got to go with the wheels pick. It's on Enzo.
He won't play.
No. I'll spin again. I'll spin again for the wheel.
He won't play a single. I think we need 2 wheels, Mikey. I think we need an A team and a B team.
Yeah, 100%.
27. Who's number 2? Gusto. Okay.
Mike. I don't think he'll play either, to be fair.
Well, the wheel can't have 3 spins. It's got to go with Gusto. You've screwed yourself there. Right. Quaresma's questions. I've got 2 decent ones here. I've got Sweeter Minhas, who said, "Who do you guys believe is Chelsea's unsung hero so far this year?"
I mean, you could actually argue probably Cucurella.
You know what? It might be a dreadful shout from me. Rare, I do that. Levy Colwill. Because he's one of he's turning into one of the best defenders in the league, and yet I never hear anyone outside of like Chelsea Social, or Chelsea, not even pundits actually talk about him ever.
But then I still think Nicholas Jackson isn't getting the credit he deserves.
I don't think he ever will. I think that guy could score 30 goals this season, and they'd still go, yeah, but is he quality? Is he better than an Osman? You would hear it. You would.
Yeah. No, that's true. That is true.
I mean,
it's a difficult one, really.
Jackson is sixth right now. No penalties. I mean, he sits on 9 goals this season. No penalties. Chris Wood has 10 with 2 penalties. And Burmo, same with 2 penalties. Palmer, 11. Again, 3 penalties. Salah is joint non-penalties with 9. 3, obviously, he's got 13 total. Haaland's ahead of him because it's Haaland. But he's stalled recently. What do you think, Chris? Who do you think's unsung?
It's difficult because I actually think amongst Chelsea fans, I think we do recognise most players who are playing well. Like outside of Chelsea fans, I think it's got to be Jackson or Cucurella for me, because I think outside of Chelsea fans, no one talks about, and there's still people who say that Cucurella isn't top 2 best left backs in the league, and I just think, well, who are you putting ahead of him then? Because no left back in the league at the minute is playing better than Cucurella.
Yeah, I do like Robinson at Fulham, but I wouldn't say he's better than Cucurella. If I had to choose between the two, I would choose Cucurella. I would, and that's not a bias. It's just I've just seen enough from him.
Yeah,
he's just better. I mean, it's a fact. It's a fact, a Rafa fact. Byron, and this one was a very long question, but I've sort of put it into. I can read the whole question. I can, but thoughts on how late in the game we are making subs? Our first and only sub was in Kunku at the 81st minute. Yeah, I noticed that. That's
I don't mind it because that shows that his game management is really focusing on that. Whereas I think if you look at someone like a Maurizio Sarri, for instance, he'd always make the same sub on like the 60th minute, just to make a sub, Barkley for Kovacic or Kovacic for Barkley. Whereas Maresca, I'd rather someone make the first change in the 81st minute, because that shows he sort of judged the game and judged where the game is at. Because I think for me, substitutions aren't something that you just make on certain times. You go by the game.
Yes,
so I do not mind it one bit from my opinion.
What Byron actually, what he went on to say was, I get we have a few injuries and recently had a game, but playing a game of that high intensity justified the need for more subs. That was an ideal game to bring on Vega and George too.
Disagree.
I don't think. I don't.
You know
think
why?
So.
I don't often disagree with a listener. I feel like that bench was so weak.
It was weak.
Bench was weak.
I don't. Would any of those players have changed the game in our favour, or would it have been almost like? I don't think they would. I think Nkunku was the only sub who could change the game.
Yeah, and to be fair, there has been other games though where he's made changes at half time. So
yeah, Malo Gusto.
I don't think it. I just think he judges it on a game by game, and in this game we didn't need to make subs because no one was playing badly, and like I said, Brentford wasn't really causing us loads and loads of problems where you think, we could do with changing that to shore us up, or I don't think he needed to. So why would you? And you wouldn't have took Cucurella off for Vega because Cucurella was having a brilliant game. And again, Sancho was quite quiet. But would you have took him off and brought George on into that game at 1-0? I think that would have been a risk.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
Right, let's wrap up today's show with our end of show game. Guess the player by the career. Yeah, not quite.
Yeah.
By their career path. Yeah, if you're a new listener, you might be. Here's how it works. I describe a player's career path, and the team's job is to figure out who it is. And I use Wikipedia because it's never been edited ever negatively. So today's theme, because Berth liked a theme, so I'm stuck with the themes.
I do like a theme. I also like this game. I think it's my favourite game now.
Yeah, I like this game.
Ballon d'Or nominees. So every single player today has been nominated for the Ballon d'Or at some point in their career. They may have got a vote. They may not have. Doesn't matter. They just need to have been nominated. So
It's just really narrow it
we
down, though, to be fair.
Yeah, we should know who they are, though.
they should be very good players. So this player started his career at Osasuna B. Before moving, I can't believe it, Osasuna. Wow, what a move.
Wow.
Madness.
Who saw that coming?
Never saw that one coming.
No. They then took a trip from Spain and moved to Marseille before making a move to Chelsea.
I know it.
Oh, go on, Chris.
Is it Azpilicueta?
It is, and he was
Yeah, it is,
nominated
isn't it? Yeah.
in 2021. And of course, he's currently at Atletico Madrid. So, second player up. Started his career at Albacete or Albacete. I don't know how to say that.
Albacete.
Albacete, that's, yeah. Before moving to Real Zaragoza. Well, they must have done very well at Real Zaragoza because Real Madrid came calling and signed him on a permanent. And then he went on loan to Monaco.
Oh, no.
Before leaving Real Madrid and making a permanent move to Liverpool.
Got it. I think I might have it.
Who is it, Berth?
Is it Fernando Morientes?
Fernando Morientes, nominated in 2004. He went on to play for
Wow.
Valencia, Marseille, and finished his career at Santa Ana. So, final player now. He started his career at Benfica B. Before team, where did he move to?
Benfica.
He did. He moved to Benfica. But he didn't stay there long because he moved to Valencia on loan before making a permanent move to Valencia. Whilst at Valencia, he made a move to Inter Milan on loan before realising he really liked the Serie A and made a permanent move from Valencia to Juventus. Before, he must have caught the eye of a team in the Premier League because he goes to Manchester City.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Whilst at Manchester City, he goes out on loan. Oh, go on,
Is
Chris.
it?
Oh,
Is it João Cancelo?
it is
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah,
He goes
it
on
is.
loan to Bayern, Barcelona, and I missed this. He's at Al Hilal. I didn't know that. How did I miss
Yeah.
that? Wow. Oh, I remember when we were after him. I'm guessing
Saudi money, mate.
Yeah, he's at City. He's paid so much at City. There's no way he's earning more in Saudi Arabia than he would have been at City. It's got to be equal because he's not one of the big headline players, is he?
Pep hates him, though, doesn't he?
I know, but
So-
maybe,
Yeah.
or did João Cancelo simply see the downfall of City to come?
Maybe.
Oh, right, listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Before we go, of course, we're proud to remind you about our partnership with Head in the Game, mental health charity using football to support wellbeing and community. It is a cause that we're all passionate about, and we encourage you to check them out at headinthegame.co.uk. So, of course, that leaves us just to say, treat yourself well. We'll be back on Friday with our winners and losers from Chelsea and Shamrock Rovers. It's not a real game, according to Chris, but to us, it really is.
It's not a real game.
So, till next time, that will be us signing off. You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast.